Tonight on Cosmic Cantina, we're going into the deep, dark, and murky world of the Reptilians. Did the CIA contact these beings through astral travel? Have they been messing with us since the dawn of time? Way too much to cover in just one episode, but we find a few interesting stories nonetheless. I'm your host, Melissa Tittle, and every week I go to my favorite bar, Cosmic Cantina, and kick back with my co-hosts, Josh Golombeski and Matt O'Connor. We talk about aliens, Bigfoot, ghosts, ancient cultures, and anything from the unseen world that needs a little illumination. Welcome to Cosmic Cantina. I'm your host, Melissa Tittle, and tonight I am drinking tea.
What are you drinking? Tea? What the fuck is wrong with you? We're not at a bar, I guess. We're still stuck at home. But I guess that's fine. Tea's fine.
Yeah.
Tea's fine. I'm on a health kick.
I am drinking Fat Randy's Indian Pale Ale, my second favorite gluten-free IPA. Cheers.
Fat Randy. Good for
Fat
you.
Randy.
I stepped into another cocktail again.
Ooh,
and
famous.
Yeah. So
Oh my god.
so I got a little bourbon and a little soda water and lime, and it's man, it is just delicious. I'm having a good time.
Wow.
All right.
Okay, I'm missing out. I wish I had a cocktail. Anyway.
Cocktail? Okay.
Okay, yeah. Too easy to make a joke
silliness.
there. Let's just
Okay,
move on.
enough. All right, let's stop. What's happening? Okay, so, all right, tonight we're talking about the most popular subject ever, reptilians.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. This has actually been really fun because having been in this space for a long time, I mean, everything comes back to the reptilians. It's just, like, we could do 20 podcasts just on, we could be the Reptilian Podcast Network. That's how much crap is on reptilians.
Agreed.
Crap is the apt word because, I mean, there's just so many varying degrees of silliness out there involving this topic.
But it's so fun.
Oh, man,
what
it's
if?
so fun.
What if?
Yeah.
Okay,
What
so
if
I
is
have
great.
an awesome article from The Atlantic. Here's the title. What it's like to believe you're controlled by reptilians. A sizable number of Americans, 12 million or not, believe that reptilian beings control the government. Why they believe that isn't a political or scientific question. It's a human question. So that's the tagline. So this article is really interesting. I couldn't believe, I mean, I know that reptilians are a big thing, but I didn't know 12 million people believe that reptilians are controlling the government. 12 million people, just in America. Isn't that insane?
Wait, really?
Yes.
Huh.
Wow.
That's a lot of people. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely higher than I would guess.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I know that we joke about, I know a lot of people talk about it and joke about it, but 12 million people believe that there is some reptilian influence in our government, in our society, in our rules, and, everything that we have set up so far. Okay, so young people. The quote from this woman named Dana, who's called the UFO chick. She says, there seems to be a trend with teenagers that is far from healthy. They become obsessed and paranoid and accuse people with very little evidence of being a reptilian.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is happening out there? That is craziness, right? It's becoming so much more popular than the Greys, and which is surprising to me because we talk about the Greys all the time. In fact, this is our only one podcast that we've talked about reptilians so far. But apparently,
Directly.
Which is surprising, but yeah.
apparently Greys are so 2005. So move aside, reptilians. So,
What are they saying, though? What are they saying? Are they saying, like, reptilians are slowly, influencing us and possessing us? Or is it, like, DNA? Like, what's their take? What do these teenagers think?
all of it. So there's a lot of paranoia that these reptilians are hurting them, controlling them, putting things inside their body. One woman says they manipulated her muscles under her skin and broke her bones, leaving scars. I don't know
Jesus.
how a reptilian does that, but so there's all this paranoia of the reptilians taking over. But then there's also like a way to be like, well, you're a bad person, so you must be a reptilian.
Oh, that shit. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, this all kind of is it started off as like the international bankers, and then it's like the Illuminati, and then it became, they can't be actual real people, these rulers, the hidden rulers who were taking over the country or taking over the world, because they must be monsters of some kind. So they're an alien race, and they're reptilians, and then reptilians became archons, and then I think, are we back to reptilians again? I don't know.
And we're back to reptilians again.
Yeah.
So here's something else that's really interesting. So Dana goes on. The most common ways the reptilian access humans is through the dream state, posing as a romantic sexual partner, or through drug or alcohol abuse, which lowers the body's energy vibration and allows access. She says it's sort of like a demonic possession. So a lot of this fear is the idea that you can't trust your own meditation or dream state, because the reptilians come in there and they try to suck away your energy and manipulate you into doing things. Kind of interesting.
Huh.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on in teenage minds right now.
Wow, that's more interesting than when I was a teenager. At least, it might be crazy town, but it's definitely interesting. Holy shnikes!
Yeah.
You know?
Well, okay. So just a side tangent away from this article. We will post this, of course, on our website, so you can check it out and read the whole thing. I'm just giving you bullet points. So there was a CIA document that was released. Matt, was that this year that the CIA document was released?
I don't think it was. I think it was a while ago, actually.
Okay.
It might have been in that big dump that happened a couple years ago, where there was a million things in it, from like psychic powers and all this different shit. I think it was like 2 years
it was
ago.
all amongst that. Yeah.
Right. So this one specifically was, they're calling it the gateway participants. They're specifically putting people in a meditative state, mostly like a kundalini meditative state, and monitoring them and monitoring where they go and monitoring what they see. And this is like, I don't know how many pages, maybe 40 pages of analyzation of time, space, what that means, where people go when they meditate, and what they can access. And so they did prove that they could access other dimensions through this meditation. Using some of their research, they used a thing called hemisync, which is a way to control the brain waves so that they get into a very low state, so that they're able to, it's almost like you're able to leave your body, or you're able to go into a new time space realm. So this is when they started testing this for the first time.
And you've tried this, right?
I have
this
tried this.
hemisync thing?
I have. It is insane. This is part of the Monroe Institute, which later became the Monroe Institute. So the hemisync allows you to have a deeper release of your body, going into a vortex, a new time and space. You're just immediately transferred out of it. So a lot of their tests, this is kind of the bullet points at the end of this 40-page document. We can also post this on our website. You can read the whole thing. But it was fascinating. They don't say anything about aliens, but they do say that that the participants were able to get in contact with non-corporal energy forms. All right, so here's what it says. Here's the things that they feel like they've accomplished. Encourage pursuit of full self-knowledge by all individuals involved. The objective was an out-of-body observation and thinking, and to remove personal energy blockages, and they succeeded. So meaning the person was able to leave their body and realize how they were hurting themselves and be able to fix it in another time-space realm and come back. Another one was be intellectually prepared to react to possible encounters with intelligent non-corporal energy forms when time-space boundaries are exceeded. So they have they've done a lot of studies about when they go into these other dimensions, what do they meet and how do they communicate with them. Okay. Right. So when you go through this with this document, you'll see that that the participants did get in touch with these energy forms. They never say aliens, but they're like trained to actually communicate with them and be able to protect themselves at the same time. So back in the 60s, the CIA was testing how the human consciousness could be connected to other dimensions in time and space and how they communicated with them, which is fascinating because a lot of this reptilian talk is that people are either in a dream state, they're in lucid dreaming, meditation, They leave their body in an astral travel, like I told you. I told you this story a long time ago, where I astral traveled and some crazy shit happened. Mm-hmm. And they always see reptilians. It's in our subconscious. So it's possible that in this CIA program, they were discovering that how they were communicating with these reptilians. Possibly. I mean, it doesn't say that in the document. I'm just saying that they do have they have logged that they have communication with other entities in other time and space.
Well, they don't say it in the document, but they do. The Robert Monroe actually does. He has said. Explained about these beings, these reptiles, what he called alligator people, in various interviews since that whole CIA program stopped, or so we think. And he did kind of explain that, yeah, like you said, the main entity that most people who were going through this program were contacting were these reptilian beings. Like I said, they referred to them as alligator people, and they described them as scaly and humanoid, but had these, lizard-like features. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and the Monroe Institute created that hemisync, and the hemisync is a process used to create audio patterns containing binaural beats. And by doing that, you're able to literally stop using all logistical parts of your brain. You're able just to leave and focus on creativity or meditation or anything that you're trying to do with your mind. You just, the other side of your brain just stops working. It's pretty fascinating, actually.
And you've actually done this, so you've experienced these benefits.
Sometimes I use it when I'm writing. It takes me a minute, and I'm right into where I'm at. Whatever world I'm creating, I'm there. I'm no longer
where's this
worrying.
tool in my life? I'm doing this. I'm hemi-syncing all the time, 5 times a day. That's amazing. How did I never hear that? And I'm deep on the Monroe Institute.
I've been keeping it a secret. All right, so back to reptilians. So this is interesting because the idea of the reptilian is a fear that we have that they're trying to control us, but they reach us in another state of existence. They're not obviously in this third dimensional reality at the grocery store being rude. They're somewhere in your subconscious, whether you're meditating or you're dreaming or just in there, right? So I don't know, Matt, what kind of research did you discover?
Well, I dove into the Monroe Institute a little bit just to see the kind of, after having a look at that CIA document, just to kind of see or hear about the kind of discoveries they kind of made. And it wasn't just reptilians. There was some really interesting things that came out of it. So Project Gateway was the original thing that Monroe came up with. Bobby, I'll call it. And it was these various varying levels of focus that he could take you through. And I think it goes up to, I don't know what it goes up to, but one of the deepest states you could be in was this focus level 15, I guess, which they kept fucking around with. But one of the really interesting things, there was this project that they called the Mars Exploration, and it was in 84. And so they got, it wasn't Monroe, but Monroe was taking this guy called Joseph McMoneagle through it, brought him down to this focus 15 level, and he was asked to view Mars, but 1 million years ago. Okay. And what he saw with this sort of colony of tall, thin, humanoid beings that were kind of living on this dying planet, basically, and they were trying to find a way to get off planet because Mars was just becoming, it was decimated, and I don't know if he got to why it was decimated, maybe war or something like that.
The reptilians.
I know a lot about that, but hold on, I'll pause. There's a great story. It looks like Mars was a planet explode next to it, and if you look at it, it looks like the whole thing's scarred, but that's a whole different podcast. But go on, you got me excited.
Okay. Yeah, so anyway, there was this group of these sort of beings who were trying to get off planet, and they were slowly dying. It was a small group of them left because Mars was becoming completely inhospitable. But he also saw these giant structures, and this is 1 million years ago, giant structures and also pyramid structures that were all over the moon.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can still